Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling, and today we have the Royal Flush PPV, the London special. First time ever we're going overseas, and we're going to do it in London. Big edition indeed. Well, if we had this show in the southeast, 41,000 people are going to attend. In London, though, we're going to get about 1,200, which I still think is pretty good. You know, to get that many people for a pay-per-view overseas, that's pretty good. So I'll take that. But truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since I played this save. Now, you guys have been watching some of the episodes that I've recorded probably a couple of months ago, actually. I've just been slowly uploading them. I'm really slack at the moment. I just haven't been doing it. But here we are in February in real life, and I'm back playing TEW. I don't think I've played since December, so we're back playing this save because I've been playing a different save offline, and I've been really enjoying that. So that's kind of taken my time. My passion has kind of been thrown into that save. But I'm ready to return to play as AEW again. And of course, lots of things have been happening. You know, lots of signings, even more signings are coming. So we're going to have a lot of new people to play around with. And a few people that we're going to fire. Some plans are going to have to change. A few things that we had going on, you know, is going to be all gone. You know, for example, you know, one of our new stables, the portfolio, Leo Rush, forget about him. He's gone. He'll be leaving. Joey Janela, I think, is another one who's gone. So there's a few people we have to play around with, a few different changes. You've got to bring in Brody King, for example. So I'm looking forward to getting involved back into this save and spicing things up. And truth be told, my interest in AEW in real life has probably dropped off a little bit. I think their shows over the last couple of months, 3 months maybe, have been, you know, okay, but dropping off a little bit. But I'm hopeful that they'll start to pick it up a little bit, and myself personally get a bit more involved and interested in it. So regardless, we have AEW Royal Flush booked, ready to go, and this is going to be an interesting one. How are we going to do overseas? Can we pull off a successful show? Now, it's by no means is it going to be a major, you know, huge event that's going to be awesome. It's going to be decent, no doubt about that. But am I expecting this to be, you know, one of the best shows we've ever put on? Probably not. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and take a look at Royal Flush. Okay, on the pre-show, the Acclaimed defeated Bear Country in a 32 rated match. Not bad. Max Caster 32, Anthony Bowens 34, and Bear Country 21, 20, 23 apiece. So that's okay. Obviously, we are really heavily pushing the Acclaimed, wanting to get them involved here and get them a dub. To kick off the main show, we had a different matchup here. We had a battle royal, 18 minutes. This was determining who was going to have a shot at the TNT Championship later on in the night. In the end, it was Jeff Hardy picking up a win, so a rare singles victory for Jeff. But we decided to give him one. Now, obviously, Jeff Hardy in real life will be coming to AEW. Let's be real, it's going to happen. So it's pretty cool that we already had Jeff on the books, and now we can probably, you know, go more all in on the Hardys, I suppose. Now it's more of a realistic thing. I don't think it's really going to change my perception on them, how I'm booking them. I feel like we're using them as a strong, top main event quality tag team. You know, that's probably not going to get the big win at the end of the day. That's kind of where the position. The people in this battle royal was Colt Cabana. We did bring in Andy Simmons, who I believe is a local talent, Ethan Page, Evil Unos, Frankie Kazarian, Jake Hager, obviously Jeff Hardy, Carl Anderson, Kip Sabian, Luke Gallows, Matt Hardy, Matt Sydal, Orange Cassidy, Ortiz, Paul White got a chance to be involved as well, Santana, Scorpio Sky, Sean Spears, Stu Grayson, Trent. A lot of mid-card guys, no one too amazing involved. Paul White got the most eliminations. The final four were Hager, Hardy, White, and, Jeff Hardy, of course. So the two Hardys with Hager and Paul White at the end. 50 rated was the result. Nothing special, of course. Next up, we had TJ defeat a couple of local talents again, Jenny B and Hannah Blossom. 7 minutes, 38 seconds was the length of the match. Didn't want to go too long, just wanted to give, you know, TJ a solid win on pay-per-view, defending the tag team belts. Second time they've done it. Anna Jay was the best in the match, 36, Ty Conti 26 as well. Anthony Ogogo has a hometown welcome by the fans before his match. 52 rated as Anthony Ogogo. This is his big night. Hometown. He's in front of the, his UK audience. Hopefully he has a good result and good performance. Let's take a look. He took on Brian Pillman Jr. 42 rated. Ogogo defeating Pillman Jr. Of course, those two have been involved in this Nightmare Family versus UK storyline. Both performing at 38 apiece. Good stuff. Good stuff. Ogogo was pretty solid, 42 for the match. Happy with that as Ogogo picked up the win, of course. MJF comes out and roasts the London audience until Darby Allin and Malachi Black interrupt and shut it down. Yeah, so obviously, FTR been heavily involved in the tag team mix. Malachi Black, Darby Allin, they're entering into that as well. Now that obviously Brody King's coming in, what do we do with the Malachi Black and Darby Allin tag team? Do we go with that still? Do we bring in Brody King and make it a trio and have a proper stable happening? That might not be a bad idea. I think we could have Darby in the House of Black, and I think that could be a good way to really move Darby up the card again even further. But anyway, 79 for that one. Pretty good stuff. Just a way to kind of, have the heel come out, talk trash about the local crowd, have the babyfaces come out and shut them up. So 79, it achieved its purpose. Eddie Kingston had his blow-off match with Bobby Fish, 1-on-1, 53 rated. Kingston 51, Fish 40. So these two guys have been involved in a pretty interesting storyline. I've actually really liked this storyline. Fish and Kingston really fighting over a costed opportunity, a missed chance, at the World Championship. So it's been a bit of an interesting one, and I think it's been a nice little mid-card feud. The other one I've obviously forgot is Kyle O'Reilly. He's been signed as well. It's funny that, he's forgotten already. But yeah, he's coming into AEW, came in. So that'll give us another really great tag team, and of course we'll align them with Adam Cole, give us a new version of the Undisputed Era, another top heel faction. So there's a few things that are obviously going to change and kind of really, I think, elevate our company as a whole. So that'll be something I'm looking forward to. But for now, it's got to be Eddie Kingston grabbing a win to continue his singles push. Next up, Jon Moxley makes his return. He's been out of action for a little bit. He is back, and he helps save Eddie Kingston from a Bobby Fish attack. Brought back Moxley here, wanted to have something big happen on this show, bringing back Moxley and reuniting him with Eddie Kingston. I think it's a natural thing, bring him back. I know in real life they're probably going astray, they're not really going to go back to being a team potentially. But I think it's good to kind of keep Eddie Kingston involved with the top guy, and Moxley at the moment is involved in a singles hunt, so this is a way to kind of keep both guys doing something, and we have a lot of exciting tag teams. And now that Kyle O'Reilly's kind of probably come in, this makes sense for a nice little tag team match to kind of kick off the reuniting of the Undisputed Era. Nick Aldis, he's on this show, of course, being one of the top UK wrestlers. We had to get him in here. Of course, he's involved in the big Team England storyline. He cuts a promo on Team England's dominant win on Dynamite, 64. I don't know about dominant, but it was a win, 64 for that one. Aldis was in action. He took on Dustin Rhodes, and we had Nick Aldis defeat Dustin Rhodes in a 15.5-minute match. 58 rated. Nice match. Nick Aldis 49, Dustin 43. You might be thinking, why did you have Nick Aldis win? Well, look, the way I see it, you want to keep that relationship with the NWA strong. He's their top guy. So Nick Aldis comes in, he has a big win, involved in the Team UK, gets a win over a veteran of Dustin Rhodes. Doesn't really matter if Dustin wins or loses. It's not going to help him anyways at this stage of his career. So it's good to keep Aldis strong. We kind of giving the NWA a little bit of a favor. We're returning the favor a little bit after they helped us out with this storyline, this match. So it's a way to kind of keep Aldis strong and give him a solid win on his way out. And I think Aldis might have one or two more appearances left in his deal anyways, and he'll probably take a loss on the way out to somebody. Alright, we had Jeff Hardy and Adam Page have a confrontation in the locker room before their TNT title match. So an impromptu sort of match, just made earlier on in the night. So Jeff Hardy doing double duty, but let's see how he goes. 69 for that one, and a 71 rated match. Adam Page did defeat Jeff though in 16 minutes, makes it his fourth title defense of the TNT title. Adam Page 68, Jeff Hardy 64. Great chemistry between these two. So if they bring this match back to the US, this could be a really good match actually. To get 71 here is pretty solid. Yeah, look, we just don't have a lot of guys to really, challenge Adam Page for the championship at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. Potentially we might have to move the belt off Page, bring it back further down the card, so Adam Page can pursue other things. But it's good to get him the belt and kind of really establish the TNT title as the stepping stone belt, as a really major championship, and that's probably what we're trying to accomplish anyways. We had a Sting versus Christian Cage hype video leading into their match. We're bringing in the big guns. We're hoping Sting can have a stellar performance to get this pay-per-view over the line from being average to maybe above average. And it was 75. Sting, 71. Christian Cage, 65. 12-minute match. Sting picked up the win when you let him defeat Christian Cage to keep the home crowd happy. One last ride for Sting in London, and he picks up a victory. Good excuse to get Sting on the card. And I figured Christian Cage should be able to get him to a good match, and they did. It was really nice. I'm hopeful that we can use Sting more. He's technically our general manager, and I like him in that role. But because he's so valuable still in the ring, he can still go. So maybe we should try and get him more involved. It's difficult though to be a GM and be a wrestler. It's not an easy thing to kind of book and do it well. So we'll have to try and think of something to kind of keep Sting involved. We've already had him have a big feud with MJF early on, and that was great. So now we might have to think about Sting getting involved in someone else. Maybe the Elite. Maybe it's the Undisputed Era. Something along those lines. Chris Jericho had a match against Alan Angels. 60 rated. I think we just did this to get Jericho on the card, get him involved, beat somebody, didn't matter who. Jericho 69, Alan Angels 30. 10-minute match just to get Jericho out there and involved. And now main event time, 59 for the hype video between Cody and Park. World titles on the line. Let's take a look. 80 rated. Wow. Cody Rhodes and Park. What a match. Cody Rhodes picked up the win thanks to Arn Anderson getting himself involved, saving the day for Cody, and kind of, returning the favor. Park's been cheating his way to victories. Well, Cody says, you know what? I'm going to do it tonight. And obviously, Park's going to be the babyface in London. So Cody, he plays it up. He's the heel tonight, and he cheats his way to victory because he's the heel for the one night only. His fourth championship defense, Cody 72. Park outperforming him slightly with 73. And a good way for, I suppose, the good guys, if you will, to steal a win back and have the last laugh after the Team England cheated anyways in the big elimination match. So there you have it. Solid main event. Cody and Park. And Park attacked Cody Rhodes post-match and laid him out to send the home crowd happy anyways. 82 for that one. And we had a 78 rated pay-per-view. I am very surprised by that. I did not think we were going to have that sort of a strong showing. We had 1,600 people attend. That's really good. I'm going to give Park, give him a hug. The man deserves it. Sting, tell him he's awesome. And who else? You know what? I'm going to have Dustin Rhodes. I'm going to say, well done. Thanks for putting over Nick Aldis for us. And leave it at that. So everyone seems pretty pleased. Alright, let's take a look at everything that went down after Royal Flush. As we said, 1,600 people attended, and we had 79,000 buys, just under 80,000 buys. That's okay, not too bad in the end. So, look, overall, I'd say that's a success. We went overseas. We did a few house shows over there. So for the house shows, we've had one so far in the Midlands, 304 fans we were able to draw. We're going to do 2 more Monday and Tuesday before we leave and come back for Dynamite in the US. So doing a little bit of a mini tour, and I don't mind. I think it's something different for us. We haven't done it. New Year's Smash is obviously our next major event. That's going to be another pay-per-view. It's not a major event on the cards, I suppose. Obviously Revolution, that's the big one. New Year's Smash isn't going to be huge, but it should be another solid roadblock on the way to Revolution. Now, obviously, lots of things are happening in real world. A lot of people signing with AEW, and we got to start making those changes, as we said earlier on. Quick little look, though. MJF and Jared Lynn, a couple opinions. Nothing to really look there. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. So we're going to re-sign them for 3 more months just on a handshake deal. I still think they're going to stay with Impact, but we're going to just sign them on a pay-per appearance sort of deal. Not too worried. I don't really want to hang on to them long term. I'm not really that interested in them. But what I might do is have them put over a few tag teams for the next few months before we get rid of them. Speaking of the newcomers, Danhausen. So he's one that's signed. In terms of his popularity, he's got 20 in the Southeast, 29 in the Great Lakes, so he's got a bit of a following in a few different places. Still working with Ring of Honor. His in-ring skills look to be pretty average. Nothing too much to really boast about. Let's take a look at one of his singles matches. He had a 25 rated performance. Yeah. So, I don't really know much about Danhausen, but I know he's got a pretty strong following online. He's got some okay mic skills. So, going to be a bit of a weird comer, might be more of a comedic act. He's got a class clown sort of personality, so I suppose that's where he's sort of headed. I don't really know what we're going to do with him. In fact, I don't even know what he's going to do in real life. He might just be one of those guys that pops up, does something goofy here and there. I don't know. Brody King, on the other hand, well, he's got 41 pop in the Southeast, 52 in the Southwest, and 39 pretty much everywhere else. So he's a guy we can work with, and obviously he's aligned with Malachi Black in real life. I'm happy to do that. As we mentioned earlier on, I'm happy to kind of bring him in and make that House of Black faction a reality and keep Darby Allin involved. Maybe Brody and Malachi become the tag team, Darby branches out on his own, or the other way around. So, something we could do. He's currently the PWG World Heavyweight Champion, so he's having a little bit of success here in the game. Let's take a look at one of his recent performances. He took on, formerly known as Oni Lorcan. He had a 68 rated performance. That's pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with that. We can get something like that out of him, that'd be great. So he's going to come in. Probably the biggest one out of the lot, Kyle O'Reilly, 53 popularity across the board. Now we know what he can do in the tag team realm. He's going to be great for us. So we're going to bring him in. We're going to rejoin him up with Bobby Fish and Adam Cole. It makes sense. That's where his bread and butter is. Now, I'm sure he could have some great singles matches for us. He's averaging 69 in NXT. So that's pretty good. Now, majority of his matches have been tag team matches. There's not a lot of singles matches to really look at. But when he teamed up with the Undisputed Era, he had a 63 rated performance. And that Undisputed Era being Roderick Strong. That was what's left of the Undisputed Era. And last but not least, one that I don't really care about is Tony Nese. 26 pop. I don't see him really going far at AEW at all. He's a pretty decent wrestler, but there's nothing about him that really stands out that makes you want to watch him. I don't know what he's going to be able to really bring to the table, but he might be a guy that we can throw into the lower card, have a good match with some of the top tier names, and be someone that can be a bit of a stepping stone, for the next guy coming through. I just don't think there's too much for him to do beyond that, unfortunately. Now, a quick look at our size. So we're 73 in the Southeast, which is great. Our goal, we have to get 5 areas to 77 to rise up to the next rank. That's pretty far away. The UK, we obviously just had a show there. We'll have a look at our tracking. Did we make any sort of ground? Not really. Been 45 in the 3 different areas there, despite us having a show in Southern England. It didn't work. We didn't really have any progression. That's okay. Probably expected that. Being a lower show, not many fans there. It's hard to kind of have a big jump. I'm sure it had a little bit of a small impact, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a splash. That wasn't the goal anyways. The goal was just to kind of get us overseas and try and slowly expand our international reach. And that's something we wanted to try and do. Yeah. So financially, we're doing pretty good. We made money last month, 1.2 mil. We're making money across the last 6 or so months, which is great. We're starting to really, climb back into the green. We've got more money now than what we started with originally, 10 million plus in the bank. So that allows us to make these signings And, you know, house shows probably aren't a thing that we're going to do too often unless we maybe go overseas for a small little tour here and there. But we might have to think about signing a few more guys on a per monthly basis, so we have a few more guys eligible to be on these house shows, because at the moment it's pretty thin for what we can do. Storyline wise, we have to take a bit of a rethink where we're going to go with this. This Bobby Fish, Eddie Kingston situation, absolutely we can add John Moxley into that and bring him in. We'll bring in Kyle O'Reilly, and that would be a great little feud there. We still got Bryan Danielson. He's feuding at the moment with Adam Cole. Looking forward to that one. The England and America storyline, that's done. We can officially end that. One last ride in London. I think we can leave it with that. Sting got the win. The Open Challenge, I might do that match again in the US. I think that's something to explore just a little bit more as well. So I'll go with that as well. But obviously we need to get a few more new storylines. Coming up to New Year's Smash, we need to try and start, taking a look at the roster. Where do we want to have a few of our guys sit? A few new names coming in, and obviously a few names need to leave. Lio Rush being one. What do we do with the portfolio? Do we try and get them a new leader? Now that Lio Rush is on his way out, do the Acclaimed need someone? Do we just keep pushing them without it? We had Jade Cargill in the stable as well, which I obviously forgot to add her in. But she's in the stable, and she's definitely an important part of the group. So yeah, look, it's going to be something that you got to think about. The Inner Circle, I don't think there's too much left with them. I'm pretty keen on pretty much moving on from that as well. I think they are in real life as well. So I'm happy to kind of move on away from that as soon as we can. And a few other things, Pinnacle, want to try and get their momentum back going again, get MJF more involved. The Elite, Kenny Omega, what are we going to do with him in real life? He's obviously injured. What are we going to do with him? Do we split Adam Cole away from the group, bring in Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, make their own group? Definitely a lot of things to kind of think about. But at the moment, things are going pretty well for us. We are doing, we're doing okay, but a lot of new guys coming in. We need to try, I think, reshape the roster, try and really figure out who's our top guys, who's our mid-card guys, who are the guys that are just going to be fodder, maybe need to be moved on as well. That's probably what we need to establish, because you can see there's plenty of guys on the contract, plenty of guys not really going to be used. Marco Stunt's one, for example, he's going to be gone. As we said, Joe Janela, he's one that we need to probably remove as well. And there's a few more. So that's probably the plan over the next little bit. Reshape the roster, bring in these new talents, and kind of figure out what's our direction heading into the new year. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for this edition of Total Extreme Wrestling. Great to be back, actually recording. I know you guys still been getting some episodes drip feeding, but I'm going to try and start uploading a little bit more, get back involved in TEW. I've been missing the uploads. I've been a little bit slack with the whole YouTube thing. I know life's getting in the way. Life's really busy for me. But I'll try and do a little bit better, and hopefully you guys continue watching this series. I really do enjoy playing and booking AEW, so I'm going to keep on going with it. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.